Good evening. Welcome to First Church of Religious Science. Welcome to our self-healing class. We're glad you're here. We're glad you're participating. I'm delighted to have you with us this evening as we gather to explore the principles of self-healing that Louise Hay so beautifully taught. This spiritual home, this church has been a home to many, including Louise Hay herself, who served as a practitioner here. First Church meets every Sunday morning at 10:45 for our broadcast and Wednesday for our creative living class at 7 o'clock. Each gathering is a sacred opportunity to connect with your inner wisdom and to support one another on our spiritual journeys. Please remember that all of our classes are offered on a love offering basis, which means there's no charge. Though if anyone has a desire to support the work we do here, your support is appreciated, and there are options in the chat boxes for people to make donations. So let's start. I have an opening reflection, a little poem on joy. This evening we're going to be talking about joy and healing, and the poem is on joy. So let's begin with it. I think it captures the essence of joy. Here we go. Joy is the song of the soul, a melody that never grows old. It dances in the light of the heart, where love and happiness start. So this poem reminds us that joy is a timeless melody, always available within us. Again, it's the song of our soul, a dance of light that begins in the heart and radiates outward. No matter what you're facing, this song remains within us, ready to uplift, ready to heal. This evening's subject is Joy Heals and unearthing the inner light. So we get into the transformative power of joy in this discussion as a path to self-healing. We have a different topic every week, using our New Thought material, primarily the Louise Hay book, You Can Heal Your Life. Before you can really embrace joy deeply and profoundly, live from that place, we first must recognize that many people, even as Louise observed herself, carry within themselves a deep-seated belief that somehow they are not deserving of joy, or somehow they're not enough. Louise said, as I often quote, the bottom line for many people, most people she worked with, she said, is they didn't feel particularly good about themselves, that they didn't feel that they were enough or that they did enough. So people's lives are overshadowed by feelings of unworthiness, doubt, self-criticism. So this is where our journey begins this evening. We want to wake up to the idea that beneath all of these layers of doubt and negativity that many of us have, beneath all of this, deep at the center of our being, there is an infinite well of joy, of love, of happiness. Louise Hay taught that this well is always present, even when it's obscured. And I talk about that almost every week. So we exist as beings of light. And in many ways, I'll say it's our belief system, our baloney, our stories, our smoke, the things that get in the way. So, and again, I say it, I share it this evening too at this gathering. Louise taught that this well deep within us is always present, even when it's somewhat hidden or obscured by the stories that we tell ourselves. Stories that for the most part are untrue. So we want to clear the path. We want to clear the debris, and clearing the path to joy involves us taking up a daily practice. In other words, we have to become mindful. We have to have a daily practice of being mindful of the chatter, of the conversation we're having with the most important person in the world. It's not that difficult to do, but it is ours to do. No one can do it for us. Shifting that inner dialogue if we could have others do it for us, we probably would seek help. But it's really something that we have to pay attention to if we want to evolve, if we want to level up, if we want to grow. We carry around a narrative. I do, you do, we all do, one kind or another. And it's often inherited from our past. In my case, I grew up in New England, Roman Catholic parents, and Irish, and there's a whole bunch of stuff. So we carry it from our parents, our grandparents, from society, from anyone really who's influenced us. These stories, these narratives can cloud our perception, much like the smoke that obscures the light within that Don Miguel Ruiz spoke about in his book, The Four Agreements. So we're beings of light, but there's smoke. The stories, in other words, that we tell ourselves that we can't and we're not good enough, and all these perceptual errors that we carry, they get in the way of the reflection of the light within. So Don Miguel Ruiz, in his book, The Four Agreements, said this. He speaks of this smoke as the false beliefs and the agreements that we've made with ourselves and the world. And we've been carrying around now for many years. Now, that's not everybody here, because some of you have done a lot of work on yourself, I know. Some of you have released a lot of stuff, and I have too. But I dare say there's more to do for all of us. These false beliefs that we hang on to keep us from seeing the truth of who we really are. Because when we're really loving ourselves, we're clearing away the false beliefs and we're radiating a lot of light, and we are showing up as radiant beings of light and joy, which is really tonight's subject. So to reach this light, to access the joy that is our natural state, we want to make a conscious effort to clear away the debris day by day, the old patterns, the negative self-talk. Whenever we see ourselves doing the negative self-talk, I've repeated this so many times. I'll say never, never, never criticize the self. Just get in the habit of saying, no, I release you, or next, whatever you have to do energetically. Once you spot it, there's a negative conversation pattern going on, you can stop it. So I'm challenging you, I'm challenging myself to stop it. Louise, if she were with us, would challenge you to pay attention to the word should, I'm sure, because she said rarely is it used in a way that's beneficial to ourselves. She said it indicates a pattern of rigidity, usually. When you see a person who's using the word should all the time, in most every case, they're making someone wrong, and usually, often they're making themselves wrong. And Louise would tell us that it's not helpful. Never, never, never criticize yourself and leave other people alone. Everyone's in the right place at the right time, expressing themselves the best they can. And we all know that, those of us who are really involved with this teaching. So we want to make a conscious effort each day. We want to love ourselves enough to make an effort to stop in the name of love, and stop and catch ourselves with the limiting beliefs that keep us in a cycle of discontent. See, this is a self-help thing. This is nothing anyone, again, can do for us except ourselves. But you can do it. You can definitely just start paying attention to that inner conversation and gently bring yourself back, lovingly, Louise would say, please don't use this exercise as yet another way to beat yourself up when you find that you're perhaps being negative. Lovingly bring yourself back and say, I love, accept, and approve of you exactly as you are, and begin again. So our practice comes in using affirmations. We use affirmations often to remind ourselves of the truth. If you want more joy in your life, we want to keep working with the idea of affirming the positive things and neutralizing anything that's negative, so we can create a space for more joy to flow freely throughout our life. Affirmations are real powerful tools that help us to focus on the positive aspects of who and what we are. For example, you might affirm, I'm worthy of all the joy that life has to offer. That's a nice one. I am worthy of all the joy that life has to offer. Another, joy flows through me, healing every part of my being. Again, joy flows through me, healing every part of my being. These affirmations reinforce the truth of who we are, and they help us in aligning our consciousness with the light that is within us. Denials, I don't talk about so much, but they're important also. When a negative thought arises, we can deny their power by saying, I release the need to feel unworthy. Again, I release the need to feel unworthy. Or a British lady, Joyce, a friend of mine years ago, used to say, next, in her British accent, she would cancel. That was another one. She said, cancel. So denials are important. When a negative thought comes in, you can deny their power by saying, no, I release you. I release the need to feel unworthy. Another would be, I deny the false belief that I am anything less than a radiant being of joy. These denials help neutralize the impact of negative thinking. Unfortunately, it's our job to deal with it. It's no one's fault. A lot of it comes from our parenting and our early years, and we find that we've changed a lot. We're not our parents, but there's certain things that we picked up along the way that are getting in the way. So affirmations are helpful. They're very powerful. Denials help neutralizing the impact of the negative thinking that goes around in circles. One of my friends will say, you're looping. And what he meant to say is when I'm thinking about something in a negative way, around and around, he'll say, you're looping. So it'll help to deny, to release the need for it. So using denials will allow you to keep the way, clear the way rather, for joy to emerge. Releases, of course, are the final step in this process. As we release old patterns and beliefs, we make room for new experiences and greater happiness, greater joy. So you might say, I release all that no longer serves my highest good. Again, I release everything and anything that no longer serves my highest good. Another is I let go of the past and I open myself up to the joy of the present moment. Again, I let go of the past, I release it, I release it now, and I open myself up to the joy of the present moment. These releases, any one of them, help us to let go of what is holding us back, and it helps us make space for the light of joy to shine through. We want to deepen our understanding, so we're longing for more, most of us. So let's talk about the power of realization. As we deepen our exploration of our spiritual nature, as we go deeper, it's important to recognize the power of realization in our journey. So what do I mean by that? We wake up and we realize that we are centers ourselves of spiritual activity. Each and every one of us are an activity in the mind of God, or an activity in the mind of this one power. So we deepen this realization. Ernest Holmes, the founder of religious science, often spoke of the creative power of thought. He said, the realization of the presence of God is the most powerful healing agency known to the mind of man. So I want to say that again because it's important to take this one in. If you can bring yourself to a place where you realize that this presence, this power is in you and operating through you, he said that it's the most powerful healing agency known to the mind of man. Whatever you've been looking for, this power, this higher power, is in you, operating through you. So realizing that, if you have that, you have a tremendous gift. This realization that we are one with the infinite source of joy, the infinite source of love and creativity, will transform your life. So you want to spend some time in meditation where the first step of affirmative prayer is recognition, where you're going to center yourself in this, you woo it, you sit with it, and you recognize that I'm one with this one. And you begin to realize and sense that there's a presence and there's a power within you, operating through you. It's alive and it's in you. This realization, again, Holmes said, that we are one with this infinite source of joy, love, and creativity will transform your very life. When we truly realize this, that we are one with this divine energy, we then begin to understand that joy is not something external that we seek. It is an inherent part of our being. This understanding allows us to clear the path to experiencing joy more effectively. Because first we recognize that the obstacles are not out there. It's always about what's going on within us. You'll hear me say many lessons, this is an inside job. So in my lesson, my notes, I'll say, the understanding, this realizing who we are and realizing that this power is within us allows us to clear the path. So we experience joy effortlessly, really, because we recognize that the obstacles are not out there. They're always within our own minds. Ernest Holmes reminds us also to change your thinking so you will change your life. Louise says the same thing. This simple yet profound statement highlights the importance of daily practice, such as doing your affirmations, do your denials and your releases, meditate, take a pause, find some breaks. Your spiritual beings, that's really your reality. So tune in, take a moment or two for prayer, for affirmation, for meditation. As we consciously tune in and as we consciously correct our thinking, change our thinking, we shift our energy and we open ourselves up to the joy that's always available. So we're talking about clearing the path, obviously within us to experience joy. Awareness, of course, plays a really important role in clearing the path to experiencing joy. As we become more mindful of our thoughts, we're then able to catch the moments when the negative beliefs and old patterns arise. You catch yourself right in the act where you're being reactive and upset or anything like that. So awareness is important. We want to pay attention to what we're doing, what we're saying. This awareness allows us to interrupt the cycle of negativity or where we're reacting and to choose a different response. I used to catch myself. I would say, there you go again. And then I'll lovingly bring myself back and I'll stop in the name of love, whatever corny little saying I would have to just help me break up the pattern. Louise emphasized the importance of this process, saying, you've been criticizing yourself for years and years and it hasn't worked. She would say then, try approving of yourself and see what happens. This shift, this practice that you're going to have from going from criticism to self-approval is a powerful, powerful way to clear the debris that obscures your joy. By becoming aware of your internal dialogue and choosing to replace negative thoughts with positive affirmations, we then create a mental environment that supports joy and healing. So we have joy in releasing the old stuff. I'm sure you realize that. Releasing is not just about letting it go. It's about making room for something better, something greater. When we release old patterns, beliefs, or emotions that no longer serve us, we create space for something beautiful, something new, space for opportunities, and most importantly, joy. Consider the wisdom of the quote from Rumi, be like a tree and let the dead leaves drop. That's pretty good. Be like a tree and let the dead leaves drop. This metaphor encourages us to let go of what no longer serves us or nourishes us, just as the tree naturally sheds its leaves in the autumn. By releasing what no longer is needed, we allow new growth to occur, new leaves, new blossoms, and new expressions of joy. This week, I encourage you to practice releasing as a conscious act of creating space for joy. Look for things to release. Release the clutter in your mind, release the clutter in your home. Practice this week, seeing what you can release as a conscious act of creating space for joy. Whether it's an old belief, or it might be a habit. Maybe it's an emotion, your default emotion. Look at it, let go with the intention of making room for light, the light of joy, to fill your life. I have a little guided process for you, which is entitled Clearing the Debris to Access Joy. So let's take a little journey together. Give yourself permission to take this little journey. You might close your eyes. This is brief. And take a deep, cleansing breath. And another. Imagine golden light coming into your body with every breath. Take it in. And as you exhale, imagine releasing all the tension and worry from your body. Breathe in. Feel yourself becoming more relaxed, more at ease. Now I'd like you to picture yourself standing in a vast open field. The sky above you is clear and bright, and the sun is shining down, filling you with warmth. The sun represents the light of joy that resides within you, always present, always shining. As you stand in this field, you notice that there are clouds of smoke drifting around you. These clouds represent the false beliefs, the negative thoughts, and the stories that you've told yourself that have obscured your joy. But as you take another breath, you feel the light within you growing stronger, more radiant. Another breath, and stronger still. With each breath, the light begins to dissolve the smoke, clearing the way for you to see the truth of who you are. You are a being of light, love, and joy. Yes, you are a being of light, love, and joy. Take that in. The smoke begins to clear, and you now see yourself standing in pure, radiant light, joyful, whole, and free. Now let's go a little deeper. As you stand in this light, imagine that you are holding a broom. Yes, a broom. There you are, standing in the light, holding a broom. This broom represents your power to clear away any remaining debris, old thoughts, fears, or doubts that might still be lingering. So you imagine yourself holding a broom that represents your power to clear away any remaining debris, thoughts, fears, doubts. With each sweep, you clear the path to your inner joy. You might say to yourself, I am clearing the path to my inner joy, making space for even more light to shine through. So stay a moment in this place of clarity and joy. Enjoy it. Savor it. Allow yourself to fully experience the truth of your being, knowing that this light is always, always within you, and that you can return to it whenever you choose. So let's come back from our meditation and let's reflect upon a truth. Joy is not something that anyone has to earn. It's our birthright. It's the natural state of our being. Just as miracles are natural expressions of the divine within us, when we clear away the debris of false beliefs, we make room for the joy to flow freely in our lives. In our daily practice, it's important to use affirmations to remind ourselves of this truth. Affirmations like, I am one with the divine joy within me. Again, I am one with the divine joy within me. And using denials such as, I release the need for this. I release the need for negative thoughts. By doing this, we actively participate in clearing the path to joy. This realization that we are one with the one, we're one with this infinite energy, and that it responds to us. It responds to our thoughts and beliefs. It's important in experiencing the fullness of joy in our lives. So again, we release the need for the negative thoughts. And as we do, we're clearing the way, clearing the path to experiencing more joy. And then the important thing is having the realization that you are connected with Source now and always. There's no time when you're not connected. I'm one with the one, and realizing this Source, this energy responds to you 24 hours a day. It responds to all your thoughts. It never misses a one. So we know this to be true. And realizing this, we're able to experience the fullness of joy in our lives. This week, I'm going to encourage people to pay close attention to your inner dialogue. Notice the stories you tell yourself and question their truth. Question the old stories, especially ones that are suggesting that there's something wrong with you or it's wrong with someone else. The question I'll ask with any of the stories, are they helpful? Are they helping you feel more joyful? Just notice. Or are they keeping you stuck in some pattern of negativity or judgment? Just notice. Remember that you have the power to choose your thoughts. You have the power to clear the smoke and to let your light shine. As Ernest Holmes wisely stated, we are surrounded by an infinite possibility. It is goodness, it's life, it's law and reason. In expressing ourselves, we are expressing this possibility. When we align ourselves with this infinite possibility, this inner connection that we have with Source, when we align ourselves with it and we know that we know, joy becomes our natural state. It's not something we need to chase. It's something we need to recognize and to allow it to flow through us. Remember, deep at the center of your being is this infinite well of love and joy. Realizing our connection, our oneness with this infinite energy also means understanding that our thoughts are creative. When we think thoughts of joy, love, and abundance, we are aligning ourselves with the creative power of the universe. This alignment naturally attracts more joy, more love, and abundance in our life. Conversely, when we entertain thoughts of lack, fear, and doubt, we obscure the light within us and we block the flow of joy. Ernest Holmes also emphasized the universe is not only a spiritual system, it is an individualized spiritual system, meaning it operates in which each person is a unique expression of the whole. This means each of us have our own unique way of experiencing and expressing joy. So our pathway to joy is personal, and it's about discovering what lights us up from within and allowing that light to shine more brightly. We want to expand and deepen our practice, and as we practice the presence, as we work this teaching, as we work with our affirmations, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be clearing a pathway to joy and love. Let's also consider how we can bring joy into every moment of our daily lives. Louise often spoke about the importance of finding joy in simple things, in a beautiful sunrise or a sunset, in a kind word, in the laughter of a child or a friend. Joy doesn't have to be grand. It doesn't have to be overwhelming with emotion. It can be found in the quiet, small moments of life. In the words of Ralph Waldo Emerson, to the attentive eye, each moment of the year has its own beauty. This quote reminds us that joy is always present if we take the time to notice it. Again, joy is always present if we take the time to notice it. By cultivating mindfulness and staying present, we open ourselves up to joy. We open ourselves up to the joy that's all around us, waiting to be acknowledged. A practice that can help us stay connected to joy is the practice of gratitude. I know we speak of it often. By taking a few moments each day to reflect upon what we're grateful for, we'll shift our focus from what we lack to what we have. This very simple shift in perspective can open floodgates of joy, allowing us to experience life from a place of abundance rather than scarcity. You might choose along these lines to keep a gratitude journal. Many people do, where you write down 3 things a day that you're grateful for. As you do this, notice how your sense of joy expands. Gratitude is a powerful way to align yourself with creative energy, the energy of joy. And it's a practice that will transform your life. So before we close this part of the lesson, I'm going to lead us in an affirmative prayer in the first person so we can take it right into our consciousness. So join with me. I recognize and I know that there's infinite spirit, an omnipresent spirit in everything, every person, everywhere. This presence is never an absence. It is the very essence of love, joy, and life itself, flowing through me, flowing through all creation, and expressing itself perfectly as me. I give thanks for the light of joy that resides within me now, knowing it is in all of us. It is an unending source of happiness and peace. I'm aware that joy is my natural state, always available, always present, no matter the circumstances. I release the need for negative thoughts and beliefs that obscure my joy. I affirm that I'm one with this divine energy, and it responds to my thoughts with love and grace. I clear the path to joy by embarking on the truth, embracing the truth of who I am, a radiant being of light, love, and joy. And so it is. Now we're going to turn the cameras over to you, where everyone can share for a moment or two. Thursday evenings, we always ask the question, what has it been like being you this week? So please share. Please share your thoughts, what has come up for you. And if you're new, I'd love to hear, at least say your name and where you're from, and let us welcome you. No one is obliged to share, but we'd love to hear from everyone who can. So I'm turning the call over to you. Thank you.